Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into some pretty heavy scriptural analysis today.
Yeah, looking at how divine sovereignty, adversity, and, well, the final fate of souls all connect,
Right, and this is all built on what the texts claim is the absolute bedrock of reality.
which they establish as God's total sovereignty, the whole uncaused cause idea.
Mm-hmm.
And this power isn't, limited. It covers everything, creation, judgment, redemption. You see it strongly in Isaiah.
I made earth and man on it prepared. That part.
Exactly that, total ownership declared. But then there's this claim, this divine monism.
Which is pretty radical, right? It just throws out the idea of two equal competing forces, good versus evil.
Completely. But that sets up a major theological puzzle almost immediately.
Yeah, it leads straight into that really difficult verse, doesn't it? Isaiah 45.7.
Oh, absolutely. It's quite shocking when you first read it. Forming light and preparing darkness.
Making peace and preparing evil. Yikes. How does that fit with ultimate justice? It sounds like God is causing evil.
That's the immediate reaction, isn't it?
Right.
But it really hinges on the language, on the Hebrew.
Okay.
The word for evil there is ra. And while, yes, it can mean moral wickedness,
Context is key.
context is everything here. It's set right opposite halom, peace, well-being.
So it's an opposing concept, like light and darkness.
Precisely. So in this specific structure, ra means calamity, disaster, adversity, hardship.
Oh, okay. So it's not God authoring sin, but God authoring difficult circumstances, trouble.
Exactly. Trouble, adversity. And you have to remember who this was aimed at.
In historical context.
Right. It's a direct shot at the Persian Magi religion, their dualism.
Yeah.
Two gods always fighting.
The two co-eternal powers idea.
Yeah. God, through Isaiah, is basically telling King Cyrus, look, those forces you think are separate powers, light, dark, peace, calamity, they're mine. I make them. I use them.
Wow. So it's less about God being evil and more about asserting absolute control over all forces, even the harsh ones.
It completely dismantles that Persian worldview. One sovereign God wielding all things.
Okay, that makes more sense to the verse. But it still leaves the question, why? If God brings calamity, what's the purpose?
And that's where the focus shifts, from where adversity comes from to why it's here.
The sources argue it's not random, it's purposeful.
Yes, a tool for justice, and maybe more importantly for refinement.
Yeah.
Like testing metal.
The furnace metaphor, Isaiah 48.
That's the one. I have chosen thee in a furnace of affliction. Trials aren't just punishment. They're meant to prove faith, refine it, make it real.
Like James talks about, testing produces endurance.
Exactly. So if you take this view, suddenly hardship isn't just bad luck. It's potentially a test.
Which links directly to this idea of consequential choice, doesn't it? Sin being defined as lawlessness, breaking a known rule.
Right. Actions have consequences within the system God established, and that's why the stakes are presented as being so incredibly high.
Life itself is conditional.
That's the argument. John 3.26, right? Believing so you might not perish, but have life age abiding. It depends on that choice.
So this framework really pushes back against universalism, the idea everyone gets saved eventually.
It does. The texts cited argue that when Paul says in 1 Corinthians, in the Christ all shall be made alive,
Yeah.
the context there is about universal resurrection. Everyone is raised for judgment. Not that everyone automatically gets eternal life. Destinies differ.
So for those who, according to this view, ultimately reject God's offer, what happens? What's the final consequence?
The sources consistently point to the second death in Revelation.
Okay.
And they interpret that not as eternal conscious torment, but as a final irreversible end. Cessation of existence. Destruction. Non-being.
So the alternative to life isn't endless suffering, but simply perishing, ceasing to be.
That's the conclusion drawn. It's presented as a way divine justice is upheld, rebellion is permanently removed, done, finished, without needing infinite torment.
Okay, let's try to pull this together then. We have God's absolute sovereignty setting the stage.
Right, the fundamental reality.
Then adversity acts as this necessary refining process.
The furnace. Forging character through testing.
All leading towards a kingdom based on freely chosen allegiance.
A kingdom proven and refined. That's the integrated picture presented. It's quite a coherent, if challenging, model.
It really is. So here's something to think about. If the ultimate choice, the ultimate stakes, are really between existence and non-existence, how does that change the way you might perceive the Creator's final justice? Does it seem more fitting? Or maybe even more sobering, something for you to chew on?